Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here. So today, I want to talk about the Michael Jordan mindset for pushing past limitations. So, sports legend Michael Jordan said in a speech while being accepted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, he said, "Limits, like fears, are often just illusions." So let's think about what that means, right? I mean, he says limits, like fears, are often just illusions. So often we limit ourselves more by what's in our head than what's going on outside of it. Our fears and our limitations both are usually things that we've created entirely for ourselves. How? Well, many times it happens when somewhere along the way we've suffered a setback of some kind. That setback becomes a limitation in our mind. And it could be something that happened when we were young, when we were really young, right? But we think that because we couldn't push past it once, we can't push past it ever. And it's not even a conscious thing. I mean, it's just, you might have had something happen when you were 3 years old and you couldn't push past it. And so you, like this little thing in your brain just turned on and said, I can't do that, right? So, or it could be any time in our lives. So then we start to even become afraid of trying without realizing that success is not only entirely possible, but it's a whole lot closer than we think. So let's look at what we can learn from Michael Jordan about pushing past limitations. Some of the things that he says. So first off, he says, start by remembering that failure doesn't last. So when you suffer a setback, there's two ways to look at it. We can either see it as a stop sign or an opportunity, right? So to extend that analogy, he says, consider when you have a setback, consider that to be a yield sign rather than a stop sign, right? Because you don't want to stop, but the yield sign tells us to slow down and look around before proceeding. So then failure does several things for you. It's actually advantageous. So it helps us decide if what we're doing is worth it. We're forced to reassess how we're going about things, what we're doing, how we're doing it. We learn what ways don't work, and we know to try something else. So all of those things, that gives us feedback. So that's all failure is more feedback, because it does those things. It helps us decide where do we need to go from here, right? So next he says, check your attitude. The last thing you want to do is get caught in a spiral of negative self-talk or bitterness. That's so easy for that to happen. So focus on the positive, because the positive will lead you to the possible. Embrace a changed heart. Accepting that you're going to succeed and establishing that you have a passion needed is when you know you're ready to concentrate on the next step. So now it's time to prove it. So then he says, jump into action. Don't go it alone. So talk with your support group and your mentors and your team members as you move forward. This kind of accomplishment requires a team, one with the experience and invested interest to help you keep going, even when the going gets tough. Hi, Karen. So these are the methods that Michael Jordan practiced daily in his career, right? These same principles applied to your perceived limitations will take you past the roadblocks that have held you back previously and into a whole new ballgame. I think it's pretty safe to assume that Michael is pretty successful, right? I mean, seriously, one thing that I know for sure, without a doubt, is that success leaves clues. And many times I look at the successful people to see what they're doing, because I'm looking for the clues that they're leaving behind that I can learn from. So I watch and I read stories about people like Oprah or Michelle Obama or Richard Branson or any number of famous, successful people. I read stories about them all the time and I watch what they're doing. But also, I watch what the top people in my company are doing, as well as the top people in other direct sales companies and in network marketing companies. Because if they're successful in their business, it doesn't matter if it's Avon. If they're in a different company and they're highly successful, of course I want to learn what they're doing, because it might help me, right? We can learn from these people. We can learn so much from these people. That's how we grow. Our success is not going to happen overnight. And in some areas of our lives, it might take longer than in other areas of our lives, right? So for instance, I do pretty well with my business. I mean, I'm certainly not perfect, and I'm certainly not at the very top level yet where I want to be, but I'm holding my own and I'm growing every day. But when it comes to my weight, that's a different story. That I'm not doing so well with. So that's what I'm talking about. Different areas of your lives can have different, how quickly you'll be successful, right? Or how successful you are. So, but when we impose limitations on ourselves by rejecting the notion that there's nowhere to grow and learn, we're only hurting ourselves. But we need that open mindset. We got to have that open mindset. And when you're open to learning, and then we can do better. And as my favorite person, Maya Angelou, says, when you know better, you do better. I tell myself that all the time. When you know better, you do better. So if you want to be better, do better, find more success and happiness in your life, you want to work hard to open your mind and learn to be open to everything around you. Because when we shift our thinking to the belief that life is full of opportunities to develop new skills and enhance our abilities, we will also embrace changes and seek out experiences that will allow us to do just that. So seriously, what are you waiting for? Let's get to work on that growth mindset, right? It's a work in progress for me, and I'm sure it is for you too. But that mindset is going to make all the difference in your life, because a mind that believes its learning potential is essentially unlimited is a mind that will never stop learning. And that's how winners succeed. That's how Michael Jordan succeeded. And that's how you can become one of the winners. So, hey, how about you? What kinds of things do you do to develop that growth mindset or to stretch your mind? What helps get you out of your comfort zone? What helps you to get past those limiting beliefs? I would love to know. Please get below and share with me. I would love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, thanks for being here with me today. Thanks, Karen, for being live. And I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.